Hello and welcome. No, I'm kidding. I love doing that. Okay, so today what we're going to be doing is spectroscopy, DNA spectroscopy. There's a couple of components that I wanted to point out to you guys on this nanodrop machine that we have here. So if you can, bring it up a little bit closer, you can see that there's a screen. I've already turned on the machine with the power button here. And what I'm going to do is choose life science rather than these other options. And that will take me to a screen that illustrates several different options here. Double-stranded DNA is here, RNA is here, and oligo is here. Most of the time we're doing double-stranded DNA, but today actually we're going to be testing oligos. So that's single-stranded DNA, and the absorbance is different than what you have for double-stranded DNA. And so the calculations are different, and thus that's what we're going to end up choosing. So we're going to hit that. Here it's going to give us path length. Units are going to be nanograms per microliter. Our dilution factor is 1. In other words, we're not diluting it at all. And then this is our conversion of basically turning wavelength, or this absorbance, into the actual mass of the DNA that we have. So I'm going to hit OK, which is this little arrow here, saying that that's what I want. The next thing I have to do is I have to blank it, which I think is one of these two buttons. We'll figure out which one it is in just a second. I'm going to take some water here, and typically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this water that we have and just make sure that the surfaces are actually clean and that the last person who did it didn't leave a little bit of residue behind. So I'm going to usually there's a little bit of Kim wipes here, but they're missing. If we had Kim wipes, I would do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little bit of this, add some water to it here, and just lightly go over it. I'm not touching my finger to it because that would add or leave proteins and other residues behind. And then I'm going to follow it with just more of this tissue here, and that will help. Okay, so now we've actually cleared off the area, and we're ready to put blank the machine. So I'm going to take up 2 microliters of water, or this is actually more than 2 microliters. So let me just go ahead and change that real quick. Down to 2, so we'll take 2 microliters of water here, and then we're going to apply it right in the center of that dot where we have all those lines that are pointing. Slowly drop it, don't slap it down. And then what you can do is hit this button here. This should blank it. They'll ask for a second blank also. Okay, second reference is required, so we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to remove this water here, and then I'm going to add 2 microliters of fresh deionized water to it. Put it on the, oops, try it again. Drop there, yeah, and then hit the button again. It sounds like an angry bug. But a really useful machine. Now what we can do is we can actually apply our samples. So I'm going to go ahead and remove or wipe and clear those samples there. This I'm going to just mix by flicking, but you can also vortex it, whatever works for you. I'm just going to note which one it actually is. And then I'm going to take and remove 2 microliters of it and place it here. Slowly drop it down, and then I'm going to go ahead and get a reading, and so I'll press it this way. Okay, so that's our concentration that we have. We'll repeat that process a second time to confirm the reading. You can also do dilutions if you're extremely concerned about getting exceptionally accurate readings, and or if you're worried about saturating your signal there. So we should probably dilute it down. The concentration's pretty high there, and we may be seeing a little bit of saturation. So we'll probably end up diluting it a little bit just to test to make sure it's still within the linear range of the machine. Anyway, that's the main idea. So Thanks for listening. When you're done, what we'll do is that we'll remove this by just wiping off the material there, using a damp cloth, or sorry, the damp paper towel here, and making sure that there's no residue left behind, and then treating that with a little bit of dry part of the towel here. And that makes sure that we don't end up getting any kind of stuff left behind. And then what you can do is close it, you'll turn it off, and then you'll go ahead and cover the machine up. Thanks.